Take a look at a map of America's interstate system. It stretches across more than 48,000 miles, connecting major cities, ports, factories, and trade hubs from coast to coast. On paper, it still looks strong and reliable. But on the ground, the story is different. These roads were built decades ago, when traffic levels were lower and vehicles were lighter. Unlike Europe's newer autobahns or Asia's modern expressways, many American interstates are running on old designs.
America's infrastructure gets a near-failing grade. The American Society of Civil Engineers assigned our nation's roads, bridges, levees, and other infrastructures a grade of D+.
Roads and bridges across Massachusetts are deteriorating.
And we are getting a look at a stretch of Angeles Crest Highway that was severely damaged by the recent storm.
Over this creek on Sheridan Road in Lincoln County sits a closed, crumbling bridge with parts of its concrete wall in the water.
Today, heavy traffic, aging materials, and limited funding are pushing the system beyond what it was meant to handle. In this video, we'll break down how these roads reached this point, what drivers face every day on routes like I-95 and I-70, and why the problems are spreading quietly across the country. Before interstates existed, American travel depended on basic gravel and dirt roads. These routes were enough for wagons and early cars, but quickly became outdated as vehicles grew faster and heavier. During the early 20th century, states began paving key routes to support growing trade and family travel. Everything changed in the 1950s when President Eisenhower pushed for a nationwide highway network after seeing Germany's autobahns. The Interstate Highway Act of 1956 launched a massive building effort, creating wide highways with limited access and long design lives. These roads were meant to last decades and support economic growth and national defense. Today, interstates still serve as the country's main transport network, carrying 77% of freight and millions of commuters, even though many sections are now far past their original lifespan. East-west interstates form the backbone of long-distance trade. Interstate 10 runs 2,460 miles from California to Florida, linking ports, farms, and oil regions. In 2025, extreme heat in Arizona caused pavement to buckle, forcing lane closures that trapped truckers in 110-degree traffic for hours. Repairs on that stretch alone cost over $50 million. Interstate 80, stretching 2,900 miles, plays a similar role across the plains. In Nebraska, constant grain hauling carved deep ruts into the road surface. During harvest season, uneven pavement triggered a 20-car crash near Lincoln, driving up insurance rates for farmers by 10%. These highways are essential, but when surface damage goes unchecked, delays and costs spread quickly. North-south interstates move goods between ports, farms, and factories. Interstate 95, running 1,920 miles along the East Coast, is one of the busiest highways in the country. In 2025, corrosion weakened a bridge section near Philadelphia, forcing emergency shutdowns that disrupted port operations and cost the region $2 million per day. Interstate 35 connects Texas energy regions to Midwestern markets. Severe storms washed out shoulders in Oklahoma, delaying beef shipments and slightly increasing grocery prices nationwide. These routes function like economic pipelines, but even small failures create ripple effects far beyond the road itself. Some interstates cut through the most difficult terrain in the country. Interstate 70 crosses the Rockies and supports freight tied to energy, technology, and manufacturing. In early 2026, rock slides near Colorado's Eisenhower Tunnel blocked lanes and stranded hundreds of trucks overnight. Interstate 40 runs 2,556 miles and faces similar challenges. Heavy rain cracked pavement near Knoxville, leading to jackknife trucks and a 48-hour shutdown. These roads are built to handle tough landscapes, but without constant reinforcement, weather quickly turns them into high-risk corridors. In cities, interstates face non-stop pressure from dense traffic. Interstate 405 around Los Angeles carries roughly 300,000 vehicles daily. In 2025, emergency repairs failed during heavy rain, leading to hydroplaning crashes and adding $800 million in repair costs. New York's Interstate 278 runs through older neighborhoods where bridges built in the 1960s now struggle under modern truckloads. Weight limits forced detours that slow emergency services and deliveries. Urban interstates absorb the heaviest wear, turning daily commutes into long, expensive crawls. Rural interstates may look quiet, but they often suffer from neglect. Wyoming's Interstate 80 crosses wide-open land where winter storms hide damage until spring reveals it. In 2025, a pavement collapse near Rock Springs swallowed a pickup truck. In Montana, delays in snow removal left black ice on Interstate 90, doubling spinouts during winter. These roads quietly support agriculture and trade, but limited funding makes failures more dangerous for drivers far from help. Interstates depend on roughly 150,000 bridges, averaging 42 years old. According to the 2025 ASCE report, 7.5% are structurally deficient. On Interstate 5 in Washington, corrosion forced lane cuts and truck detours, costing logging companies $1 million per week. Minnesota's Interstate 35 West is heavily monitored after its 2007 collapse, but nearby bridges on I-94 still strain under rush hour traffic. When bridges weaken, risks rise quickly, and repairs become far more expensive. Electric vehicles continue to reduce fuel tax revenue, while extreme weather speeds up road damage. Although the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act added $250 billion for highways, gaps remain. Tools like drones and sensors could help detect problems early, but adoption is slow. Without stronger funding models, deterioration will continue. Thanks for watching. Hit like if this opened your eyes to the road ahead, and drop a comment on your worst interstate headache. What should we tackle next?